happen here. I'm getting a little tired of lurking around, crouching in doorways, waiting for Cece and Pamela to show up. It seems like that's all we ever do anymore.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it pays off. Behold, the woman arriveth.
You think she's meeting Cece?
It was out before.
And she's probably just having a drink and then she's gonna go home.
Why don't you go home, since you're so all-fired disenchanted with detective work? It suit me just fine. I'll find out about Hal Clark's disappearance. I'll confront CC, make a deal, and I'll cut you out.
What deal? What's to cut me out of? I mean, they're too paranoid. They're not gonna let anything slip.
Oh, I don't know, darling. You know, in a weak moment, they just might blurt something out. She's in this up to her tiara. You know what I mean? And sooner or later, we're gonna know the whole warty truth.
Get away from me! Come on. Get up. Get up, you hustle and fight me. Come on. Come on. Get up and fight. Get up and fight, damn it!
I don't think you can, Dad. TJ, talk to me. TJ. He's out. I mean, he's really out, Dad.
Oh, God, no, not again.
Dad.
Not again. Can't, not again.
Dad, wait! What?
Ted,
What?
we'll have to get an ambulance.
I'm going up front to call Washington. See if he behaves himself.
I don't have much choice. It's kind of hard pinching pretty stewardesses wearing these. Ah, alone at last.
Behaving yourself doesn't apply to just the stewardesses.
What's the matter? I'm not your type?
I tend to have a problem with people who hold out on me.
We are talking about your daddy again, aren't we?
If you know who killed him, why don't you just tell me?
Maybe I'm waiting until you pay my price.
It isn't as if I have any power to let you go. I don't. You're Martini's prisoner, not mine.
Ah, but you could do a great deal to pave the way. Do yourself a favor. Think about that.
You should be ashamed of yourself, Castillo.
Well, I'm a simple man, darling. You put you and me alone in the house with the moon shining in the window and the fire in the fireplace, and my mind just points me in one direction.
Your mind has nothing to do with it.
That's true.
I'm serious. Don't you feel a little guilty about keeping me awake? Huh?
Well, actually, that's kind of the point. You know, a woman nods off at a time like this. It's hard not to take it personally.
What I am saying is, if I were asleep instead of not being asleep, I could be doing something productive. I could be dreaming.
When it's time to dream, then it'll happen. I mean, you can't make that dream happen.
I want to make it happen. I want to see where we're going to get married. I want to see it now.
Okay, you can, I think, if you just close your eyes. See, I have a surefire way of relieving you of complete tension, but you have to close your eyes. You have to be willing to dream up a storm, but you have to close your eyes first.
I don't trust you.
Okay, just keep your eyes closed. It'll be okay. Dreaming.
I know I should never trust you, ever. You're bad.
I know. That sound you think you just heard, that's a figment of your subconscious.
That's a figment I've heard before. Maybe we should just ignore it.
I think for sure.
Mama?
I'm sorry if this is a bad time.
What's wrong?
Oh, I just had to come. Because I have to know if one of my children will listen to me and try to understand. Eden, I'm counting on you, and I'm not asking much. I just want you to show me that you can look at me without turning away.
TJ, can you hear me?
Where is that ambulance?
It'll be here. We just got off the phone. He's fine. He doesn't need one.
Oh, because he barely opens his eyes, you think he doesn't need to see a doctor? Come on, he could have a concussion or something.
He deserves it after what he's put my family through.
Oh, I like your compassion.
Look, the man you saw here tonight was not my father. He's been driven half crazy by this thing with TJ and my mom. I mean, you should have seen them a couple of months ago. Probably the happiest couple you've ever seen. Hit a couple bumps and TJ makes his move.
Don't you think your mom could have kept him waiting? I mean, you're acting like TJ forced himself on her.
He took advantage of her. She was confused. TJ made his move on her before she even had a chance to figure out what the heck was going on.
Isn't it possible that your mother could have made her own choice? Maybe it wasn't the choice you wanted.
Oh, come on. You think my mom's gonna choose TJ over my father?
Your mom may have needs that you don't even know about. See, to you, she's just your mother. But she's got an inner life, too.
Oh, man. Oh, my head.
God, TJ. It's gonna be all right. We're gonna get you to a hospital.
Margot?
Yeah, it's me. It's okay. Can you tell me how many fingers?
4.
Yeah, that ambulance that he doesn't need is here not a moment too soon.
Because maybe you're tired of the whole thing. I mean, you've been tracking this guy who killed your father for how long?
So it's a man. The killer is a man.
Maybe.
You said this guy.
Well, that doesn't exactly narrow the field. If you want to get specific, we got to talk about me getting out of here.
What makes you think that I would have anything to do with the release of a man who betrayed his country and mine?
Because blood is thicker than allegiance to a flag.
Well, the truth is, I really wouldn't know what to do with any information about my father if it came from you. You know what they say about considering the source. Besides, if I were pathetic enough to help you, when it came time to fulfill your part of the bargain, you'd lie, just for the fun of it.
No.
That's my answer, too. No.
Well, I'm sorry you feel that way.
You're not sorry about anything. That's your problem, Richard.
Come on. I'm not a monster. I'm flesh and blood just like you are. Do you want me to prove my humanity?
Not really, no.
I mean, I'm not talking about something that's common to us all. A call of nature. Teacher, may I be excused?
You're just gonna have to wait until Martini returns.
He could be another hour.
Well, I'm sorry. But that's just something that your extreme humanity will have to bear.
Don't you read your rule book? Even a federal prisoner is allowed to visit the head. I've already been once. Well, Martini stood outside the door, right over there. Didn't you see us? Now, you can stand guard just like he did. Here.
All right.
Where's your key? I mean, I'd invite you to join me, but it gets a little tight in there.
don't believe it. What do you think you're doing on this plane?
Well, would you believe I had a sudden desire to climb the Washington Monument?
This really isn't funny, Kane.
Asking me not to help is like asking me not to care. I can't do that. I'm sorry.
You're going to have to learn that there are parts of my life that belong to me and me alone. What was that?
I didn't hear anything. What?
Damn it. Richard! Damn it. Something's wrong. How did you get away?
Sit down, Mama.
Look, I know you have a lot to talk about. You just give me a second. I can clear out.
Well, please, Cruz, this is a family matter, and we are all still a family, no matter what happens to your father and me.
That sounds a lot like a resignation. What, are you just waiting for it to end?
Eden, I am trying to deal with what's real here.
Well, from what my point of view is, what's real is you and Daddy. The commitment that you made, the love that you two have. My God, Mama, look at what it's gone through. Miles of distance, years of separation. You come back to us, my mother comes back to me. And you love my father, you love him. How can that love go away?
Well, that's a question I have, too. I really don't know. But after Pamela came back to town, your father started to change. And I thought it would just pass. I thought the day would come when he would hold me again and he would confide in me. But that day did not come, Eden.
And so you turned to TJ.
See, now the way you say his name, you don't know him and you don't know anything about him.
Kelly and Ted have told me some.
They don't know him either.
Well, I'm sure nobody's really tried to get to know him yet. They're too concerned with getting you back with Mr. C.
Isn't anyone concerned with what I want?
Now, Mama, I know that I'm guilty of that. It was a shock. Cruz and I, we come back, we want to tell everybody about our marriage plans, we want to share it with you. I wasn't prepared for this.
I know that, baby. And that's what bothers me the most. Because the last thing I want is to have this interfere with your marriage.
And how is that possible? Mama, since I was a little kid, all I dreamed about was turning down that aisle and seeing my mother and father standing there, watching me, holding hands. Maybe you'd even be thinking about your own wedding day. It would represent to Cruz and I what we had to look forward to, but I'm sorry. That's a dream that's really hard for me to give up.
She's not expecting anybody, least of all Cece. Why don't we just go?
All right, I'll get the check. Waiter? Wait, wait around. Waiter? What?
Dad ordered me another dessert. I think we're gonna be a while.
It was sickening. Absolutely sickening. The minute he hit the floor, I went back 30 years.
What's he saying?
He just said something about 30 years.
That's the magic number. That's how long it's been since Al Clark disappeared.
Well, they haven't mentioned Al.
I think you're overreacting. Nothing like this could happen again. I mean, TJ's a young, healthy man.
So was Hal.
Oh, my God.
What?
He just mentioned Hal.
You're kidding me.
No. First they were saying something about TJ.
TJ? What? What are they talking about TJ for?
Shush. Why you wait?
Well, you have to go back to there and find out what happened.
You didn't see him go down. When he hit the floor, it was like all the life went out of him.
Say that.
Something about Pamela was talking about going to the hospital and finding out about TJ.
Why, neither one of them gives a hoot in hell about TJ. Why would they do that?
Apparently Cece hit him or something.
You hit him?
Yeah. I don't know. I can't tell what's going on. You're quiet. How am I supposed to figure out what's going on when you're asking me a question every other minute? I am trying as hard as I can. Just shut up and let me listen.
Shut up, let me... Listen.
I don't think I want to go through this again, Pamela.
Come on. Spell it out, Cece. You've all been waiting to hear this for a long time.
Why the hell didn't you just tell him to wait for me?
I did. But then he said that you had gone with him and waited outside. I saw no problem with that.
One difference. I didn't let him escape.
Now, wait a minute.
I'll handle this, Kane.
No. Who would have thought there was going to be any danger? It's a washroom on an airplane, for crying out loud. I mean, where did he go?
He unscrewed one of the ceiling panels.
Yeah, I saw that, but where from there?
Yeah, well, we figure, you know, there's a chute to take on food and kitchen supplies, and we figure he climbed into that and made his way to a vent leading to the baggage compartment.
But he's not there now.
Very good. Someone must have planted a parachute there. The next order of business is to find out who.
I had no part in this.
No, of course you didn't. Are you accusing her of
Listen,
something?
mind your own business. This has nothing to do with you. In fact, you weren't even supposed to be on this flight. Well, for now, I'm ordering this plane back to Santa Barbara. Be ready to answer some questions when we land.
She wants me to go, doesn't she?
No, not at all. She's upset. She just wants to be alone for a little while.
I feel like I'm losing them. I don't know what to do. I'm losing all of them. Ted, Kelly, and now Eden. Their first impulse is to blame me for everything, Cruz.
Well, you know what it is, Sophia. They just don't want things to change.
Change? Don't they understand that this change is so hard for me, too? I mean, Cece is gone. I can't give them back the security they need, even if I wanted to.
Do you want to go back?
Right now, TJ is the only person that is making me feel like I'm worth anything. Why doesn't anyone understand how necessary that is?
Maybe they're jealous of him. You said so yourself. They don't know him, and all of a sudden he just shows up and he occupies a very important place in your life. I could see where that would be threatening to him.
Oh, Cruz, I wouldn't do anything. Nothing could diminish my love for they're my babies. When you and Eden have children, you'll understand. You think you know a lot about love now, but oh boy, children teach you things you've never even dreamed of. I remember one time when Eden was little. She was 5 or 6 or something, and I had a riding accident and I was in a cast and I had to be in bed for a month, and she would come home from school and she'd run in the house and she'd run upstairs to my bedroom and she would read to me. She was just learning the words. She could hardly make them out. You should have heard her. It took her almost 10 minutes to get to the bottom of the page, and I'd say, honey, you don't have to read to me. It's all right, we can just talk. And she said, oh, no, Mama. When I'm sick, you read to me, and it makes me feel so much better. After I had that cancer operation, I would think about that. It's probably the only thing that gave me enough peace to go to sleep at night.
I know that you and Eden will get through this okay. And the other kids, too. It's a period of adjustment, that's all.
Yeah. Well, I hope so. It's just so tough, Cruz, because I think I need them right now more than I've ever needed them in my life.
I need you too, Mama. And I love you. And I want you to be happy.
Oh, honey.
Well, he's all done with his x-rays. They're finding him a room right now.
Does he have a concussion?
No, but they do think that he may have dislocated something. So they said it was good that we didn't try to move him ourselves.
He's not gonna die then, right?
No.
Okay, well then I'm out of here.
You going home?
I don't know. Why?
Well, I just wondered if you were going to be talking to your mother.
What?
Your mother. Somebody should tell her about TJ. I mean, so if you're not going to be going home, then maybe you should give her a call.
Well, she's gonna find out soon enough. I'm sure TJ's gonna have a terrific little sob story for her about how he suffered at my father's hands.
Oh, come on. I really doubt that TJ's going to be in the mood to be telling stories anytime soon. And besides, come on, if your mother finds out about this accidentally and no one even told her about it?
I am not the go-between here. It's not my job to keep the communication lines open for them, and no one elected you for that either.
It's the responsible thing to do.
Now, wait a sec. My family is not your responsibility, Margot.
Dr. Tiger, contact obstetrics.
I think it's about time my parents learned how to handle things themselves.
Even if he was badly hurt, Cece, it's not the same as it was before. You were in a public place tonight. There were witnesses.
This is incredible. I wish I had a tape recorder for this.
Why? What are they talking about?
She said that when Hal Clark bought it, there were no witnesses. She almost said that.
I can't believe they're actually admitting they were involved with Hal Clark's death.
Well, it wasn't a direct admission, but it's close enough for jazz.
You know, you could always plead self-defense. There were people there to back you up. Unless, of course, you took the first swing. Oh, Cece.
It's too late.
What? You think he's after you?
No, TJ died. He is. I'm gonna get out of here.
Cece, we've got to go to the hospital. We don't even know what happened.
The hospital?
Yeah, let's get out of here. Come on, let's go.
Mr. Timmons.
Hey, Parker, listen, we're in a hurry. I'm sorry.
Listen, I think we've got a lead on that chambermaid from the San Marcos Inn.
Where is she?
Wait a minute. We have to get out of here.
Listen, when you get something definite, cut back.
I think maybe she's in Chicago. Her daughter said something about...
When you get something definite, we'll look into it, okay?
I mean it. I want you to be happy.
Oh, well, that means everything to me.
Does TJ make you happy?
I'm not sure of anything right now, Eden. That's what you have to understand. I mean, I can't rely on anything in my life, so I'm just trying to take one day at a time.
There's nothing wrong with that.
TJ gives me back something that I've missed for a long time. He makes me feel good about myself. He makes me feel needed. And he doesn't keep any secrets.
There's one thing I want to say on Daddy's behalf. I don't think he ever meant to shut you out of his life on purpose.
It all fell apart after the oil rig explosion. TJ didn't judge me. He tried to help. He did help me. Honey, your father punished me over and over again.
So you're saying you have no love left for Daddy?
Saying that I miss what we had. But I don't know if I can have it back again.
Didn't Richard tell you he knew who had assassinated your father?
That has no bearing on today.
Did he or did he not tell you he had this information?
Yes.
Crucial information as far as you were concerned. In fact, it was the whole reason you joined the department was to find your father's killer.
There were other reasons.
No, there were no other reasons, lady. You have lived and breathed nothing else for 5 long years, and now you expect me to believe that you were ready to give up your last chance to find the person you were looking for.
I did not make a deal with Richard.
He was offering you the thing you wanted most.
Hey, I think the lady answered your question.
And I think that she doesn't need a bodyguard, so why don't you just go home? Unless, of course, you were on that plane for reasons that I don't know about.
Wait a minute, what's that supposed to mean?
Maybe Andrea got tired of working alone, and maybe she got you to plant the parachute in the baggage area.
You are
He
reaching.
did nothing of the kind. I didn't even know he was on the plane until I saw him standing outside the lavatory.
Yeah, the lavatory that you didn't even check before you let a prisoner go inside.
I checked it. But what was I supposed to see? Whatever Richard used to unscrew that panel in the ceiling, he obviously had on him at that time. Seems to me, whoever checked him before boarding the plane should have been able to uncover that.
Okay. Okay, you want to play it that way, all right. I'm going to request a full investigation from the department. And until then, you are under suspension without pay.
What?
We'll expect to find you at this address when we set the date for the hearing. So stick around.
You are telling the truth, and they will find that out, and you'll be vindicated. You'll be reinstated.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be too sure of that.
Why? What are you afraid of?
Just being under suspicion of something like this is enough to reduce my security clearance to 0. What good is being reinstated if I'm going to be behind a desk somewhere processing requisitions?
They take you out of the field?
In a minute. The only thing you have going for you in this business is your reputation. Now mine is DOA.
That's not fair.
What's not fair is that now I'll never be able to find the person who killed my father. That's what isn't fair.
We are going to fight this, and I'll help you. And they'll see that you had nothing to do with any of this.
It's too late. Kane Martini is already out there spreading the word. Just the fact that I even mentioned my father to Richard is a nail in my coffin. No, it's too late. It's over. I lost. I lost everything.
No,
No, you haven't. You'll have me.
I was there, Cece. I saw the nurse write it down. It was an 8, not a 0. It's room number 300.
That is a circle on top of a circle, which in any language means a bloody 8. Why don't you wear your glasses once in a while?
Well, I don't know how you can tell. It's so smudged. I mean, you squeeze the life out of it with your sweaty palms all the way up in the elevator.
I'm entitled to sweat a little bit. I almost killed somebody tonight.
But you didn't kill him. The fact is that he's been admitted to this hospital room, which tends to indicate the man is alive.
It also tends to indicate he had more than just a bump on his head. Thank God it's not serious. Oh, God, Pamela, it is serious. That's intensive care.
We'd better notify his family. He's not going to make it.
God, not again, my God.
This is not your fault. It was an accident.
I can't use that as an excuse anymore, not this time. This time I gotta turn myself in.
TJ is in the hospital.
My God, is he all right?
Yeah, he is all right. They took some x-rays, no broken bones. They just wanted to keep him for observation for a while.
What happened?
Well, there was a fight. Probably more like a shoving match. But it was your husband.
Cece did this?
Yes. I debated coming over here, but I was afraid that you were going to try to call TJ or something and get really worried. But he's on the 3rd floor, room 300.
Thank you very much. I'm going over there right now.
Oh, you know, we could share a cab or something. I have one waiting right outside.
Do you? Well, that's very sweet, but I have a car and driver. Thank you.
Okay, please forgive my intrusion. I was just so sure you'd want to know.
I did, and thank you for your help.
Please, don't mention it.
Did you ever think that one of the reasons Martini is so bent out of shape is because it's he that is going to get in trouble? He was in charge. If he didn't want Richard going to the lavatory, he should have made it clear to you. Andrea, you can't keep blaming yourself. Richard had this whole thing planned way in advance.
Then why was he bargaining with me?
Because it's easier for him to have you let him escape in Washington than it is to jump out of a plane 30,000 feet. But when you wouldn't go along with it, he resorted back to the parachute plan.
Now he's probably dead.
Well, yeah, if the report from the other plane is true, his lines got crossed, I'd say there wasn't much chance he survived.
I suppose I should be glad. But I can't stop thinking that if he is dead, then any hope of finding my father's killer died with him.
If he knew.
He knew. I don't know why I believe that, but I do. And somehow, some way, I would have made him tell me after he was tried and convicted.
Maybe this is a sign of some sort. You know, when the trail gets this cold, I don't know, maybe you just need to give it up.
I wish I could.
Hi.
Hi.
I just heard. Are you all right?
Careful.
Sorry, are you in terrible pain?
I don't think I'll ever play the accordion again.
Did you ever play the accordion?
No. I think I pulled my back out or something. Doctor said they got everything back in the right place, but it doesn't feel like it now.
I could just wring Cece's neck. I can't believe he did this to you. He could have paralyzed you.
No, it wasn't his fault, really. I mean, we got in an argument and he shoved me, and I tried to sidestep him, slipped, fell down. It was very smooth. I'm glad you weren't there to see it.
I wish I had been there. I wouldn't have let it go this far. I'm so glad to see you.
And you?
What are you doing out in the hall? You should be in your room.
Yeah. I figured I'd try to wheel myself down to the phone. I thought you might go to the lair and, well, somebody would tell you something that would get you worried. I just wanted to call you and tell you it's okay.
Thank you. I'm glad the person that did tell me that she told me you were okay. And I don't even know her. Her name is Margot Collins.
Yeah, Margot. She's terrific, isn't she?
Well, yeah, but she came all the way over to the house to tell me about this. That was kind of extraordinary.
Also, I guess she's the one that got me to the hospital. She's the one that called the ambulance.
Well, then I have another reason to like her. Is she new in town?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I just sort of snapped her up as the new hostess for the lair. Pretty sharp, huh? And I figure the way she looks, a whole bunch of new clientele is going to come in, especially of the male persuasion.
Well, I can see this Margot's made quite an impression on you.
Hey, there's only one person that makes an impression on me like that. And because of her, I kind of ended up in the hospital.
Oh.
But I'll tell you something.
What?
You're worth it.
I don't understand why you're holding back now. I mean, you've got Cece right where you want him. He's about to unravel like a cheap sweater.
Still squirm out of this, you see. For once, we're not going to overplay our hand. For once, we're going to play it by the book.
What book? Nothing you ever read or skin magazines.
Just because we know there's a crime isn't enough. We have to have a specific time, a specific place, a specific motive. Then we can very specifically go in for the long-awaited kill, which will be all the sweeter for our very specific anticipation.
I wonder if he can shed any light on anything that happened here tonight with TJ. Maybe I should go try and find out.
Oh, yeah, his father put the guy in the hospital. Sure, I'm sure he'll tell you a lot. Yeah.
Well, that shows you how much you know. Just so happens, Ted's always had a soft spot for me. I melt him just like hot fudge. Hi, Ted. How's the boy?
Get lost, Gina.
Well, excuse me. I was just wondering where our charming host is this evening.
Jake?
No, TJ.
He's not here.
Oh, is it his night off?
No, he had a little accident. He'll be here tomorrow.
What kind of accident?
One more time, Gina. Get lost.
Oh, yeah, big soft spot. Even just hot fudge. You just melt it out.
Get lost.
Hi.
Hi.
May I sit down?
Not if you're going to give me a medical update on TJ. I can care less on that guy.
Okay. No medical update.
You at the hospital this whole time?
No, actually, not the whole time. I went to see your mother.
My mother?
Yeah, I told you I thought she had a right to know what happened to TJ. And it turns out that she was very grateful that I came by.
I don't believe this. I told you to leave that alone.
Well, I don't always do what I'm told.
Oh, it's just too tempting, is it? A so-called famous family like mine gets caught up in a little scandal, and you can't help getting the inside scoop. Well, now you can go ahead and tell all your friends that the filthy rich is just that, filthy.
That is not why I went there.
Oh, right. You felt it was your humanitarian duty, is that it?
You know what? Like it or not, your mom cares for TJ. And she would have been heartsick to find out about this accidentally. Believe me, I know what it feels like to be totally left in the dark and be the last one to know. And I wouldn't wish it on anyone. Especially someone who's as good and kind as your mother.
You have one talk with my mother, and you've got the intimate knowledge of who she is. I'll tell you one thing, you have no idea what she is all about.
Yeah, well, you know what I do know? I know that she deserves better than a son whose only achievement tonight is to turn himself into a mean drunk.
I don't know why I'm laying all this on you guys. I don't know what to say to her anymore. She doesn't hear me.
Look, you just got to give her some time. She's got to experience the fact that she has a real life and that it beats the espionage business hands down.
I think Cruz is right. Andrea's been under constant pressure for over 5 years. She's always on assignment. She's always waiting for the counteroffensive. You can't expect her to relax instantaneously.
You know, if all the pressure was from the outside, I would agree with you, but it's coming from within her. Look at her. She's got this job that's giving her nothing but grief. She's at a dead end with this search for the killer of her father, and she just won't drop it. She's in a panic because she's afraid she's gonna have to go it alone without the department help.
She loved him very much.
I know. I wish there was something else she could focus on, some project that she could throw herself into.
Okay, that would help.
I offered myself as a lifelong venture. I don't think she went for it.
Well, I still say that once she goes a few weeks without calling her control every hour on the hour, she'll be a whole different person, man. Even the situation with her father won't seem so overwhelming. Besides, Richard seemed to hold the only key to that, and he's dead now.
But even that, she won't let go of. She won't let go of the fact that he might be alive, and then she can track him down and get this secret. She won't. She just. I don't know, I'm afraid she's gonna have this curse with her forever. I'm sorry.
Yes, I was escorting the prisoner under Agent Martini's supervision. Yes, I was wondering if there was any word on any recovery of a body. Well, how about the remains of a parachute? I see. No, of course, if they were flying over water at the time, there wouldn't be. No, nothing else. Thank you.
Can't you at least take some relief in the fact that TJ's still alive?
I was not relieved to see Timmons there. He must have followed us to the hospital.
Well, as far as he knows, we were visiting a sick friend.
Oh, come on, Pamela, don't be a fool.
Well, I beg your pardon, but it was this fool who insisted we go on to room 300 where we found Mr. T.J. Daniels resting comfortably after only a minor back injury.
All right.
It was also this fool who kept you from running downtown to turn yourself into the authorities, which could have been some kind of headlines.
I said, all right. Do we have to relive every tortured moment?
Well, you needed me tonight, and I just want to hear you say it.
No, I don't need you. You see, tonight never would have happened if it wasn't for you and all those tangle of ends that you instigated 30 years ago.
What is that why you came to me tonight? To tell me you want me to stay away? Is that why I'm the first person you run to?
You know what, Pamela? You're right. I do need you. I need you to remind me that I have no business here, none at all.
Oh, stop, please. I'm sorry. I'm still really shaken by this whole thing myself. Hello. Yes, he's here. It's for you.
What? The hell knows I'm here? Yes. You're kidding. Of course. Really? Well, that's unusual. I wonder. No. Tomorrow will be fine. You set up a meeting with the Planning Commission.
Well, who's that?
We're in the middle of a building project, doing a country club.
Yes, I heard you mention it.
Yeah, well, I've been hanging around waiting for some funds to come from my partner back east, and they just didn't come through before. Now he finally came through with it.
Oh, really? Anyone I know?
How would you know? Syndicam, it's a dummy corporation set up for my silent partner back east. I can't believe he finally got this thing off the ground.
Well, that's wonderful news.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure you're thrilled for me.
I am. See, I want you to be happy.
Good. Then why don't you just leave me alone, hmm?
Well, then why do you come to me tonight? I mean, you're telling me you want me to leave you alone. Why am I the first one you run to?
I had nowhere else to go.
See, you remembered. The other night, you remembered how it could be between us. What we could do for each other. You remembered, and you couldn't get enough.
Come in.
We don't have to talk. I know you need time to think about this.
There's nothing to think about. I know what I have to do.
Would it be so terribly wrong to just do nothing for a while? You've been given an opportunity here.
Opportunity? I just lost my job and my credibility. I'm having a difficult time seeing the bright side of this.
You are not a machine. You weren't put on this earth to complete missions every day. You've forgotten what it's like to let life come to you occasionally, to live, to let it take you where it wants. People need to do that.
No, you know what you need. You want me to slow down. You want me to do things your way.
What I need is you, period. I'm afraid for you when I see you going on like this.
Don't you see? Going on is what I am all about. And I can't stop for you or anybody. Not even if it makes you hate me.
I can never hate you.
Well, I'm going to give you a chance to test that one. I'm asking you to leave. Now. No questions, no qualifications. From here on in, every decision I make, I do alone.
I'm glad Mama came tonight.
Me too.
I can't understand everything she's doing, but she said some things I really needed to hear.
I think we all need to hear that we're still important to each other.
Well, I couldn't agree more. Hint, hint.
Well, what can I tell you? I love you. If there's any part of you that's worried that the same thing that has happened to your parents is going to happen to us, you should write the word never on the blackboard 1,000 times.
I know I hadn't thought about that reading thing in a long time. But I do remember rushing home from school to take care of her.
Even then, you were practicing to be a mama yourself someday.
I have a few essentials to learn, I think, like everything.
Oh, no. You're going to be a natural. You're going to amaze yourself.
I just can't imagine it. Sitting there in a rocking chair, looking down into a little face with big green eyes like you. But I always imagine a boy who looks just like his handsome father.
Well, why don't we see what we can do about that?